All right, once again, let's get through this. Did my homework for Doomcock's show, and well, I'm gonna get a video out of it of a show that I really didn't want to watch. After the specials, that was it. Doctor Who was broken, seemingly beyond repair, and don't really see. Well, there's nothing coming along to save it or anything like that. So it's done. So the only thing left is the autopsy, I suppose, the morbid curiosity of a once great science fiction franchise. So this episode, this is the third episode called Boom, and it marks the return of Stephen Moffat. Now, Moffat, as it stands, is probably the best writer of the three showrunners that oversaw New Who. Russell T Davies had the best run overall, but a lot of that was helped by a writer like Stephen Moffat. When Moffat took over, I think some of probably his best work was in the RTD era, where he tried a lot with Capaldi and all that, and it's a damn shame because you could see the elements and vision of excellence, and in a couple of times you got it, but for the most part, I think Heaven Sent, Hell Bent, it encapsulates Moffat and probably really New Who overall in a lot of ways. But it certainly encapsulates it there, where you get this brilliant, magnificent episode, and then the payoff is absolute crap. And a lot of Moffat was tease and never deliver. And sometimes that was circumstantial and that sort of thing, and that's understandable. Things, actors he wanted, he couldn't get at the last minute. Stuff like that. Maybe I'll do another video on that too. But if you're aware of the stories, you know what happened at the 50th special, and Matt Smith wanted to leave and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, and so now he's back to do this episode. So there's only been 3 so far. I haven't seen the Christmas special. Don't know that I ever will. But, they were stupid shows primarily. The second one was particularly creepy. But a creepy villain is kind of what you want, I guess. But it was very odd. It's all this stuff about being positive about drag queens or something. Was it? Well, whatever. So the third one's hey, well, Moffat knows how to write and stuff. And here is something where there's almost elements of, without all the crap that's up front and most significant and takes priority for the direction of Doctor Who for Russell's second run, means there's no time to actually explore concepts and that sort of thing. And this is one of those episodes that, despite its simplicity, could have been very powerful. I don't know that placing it as a third episode would work so well. This could have been something later on where the Doctor and Ruby, as very close and friends and important to one another, would be more well established, to where emotional conflicts and whatnot would have more power to them and credibility. But such is not the case here. It's only the third episode, or well, I guess fourth episode for these characters. But of course, message and stupidity must reign supreme, and so it does. So basically, you have an episode that's pretty much done on the cheap. They had their projected background set and everything, which is fine by me. I don't care. But as long as the concept of the stories was good and strong, doesn't matter. Well, it could have been, but it wasn't. So the Doctor lands on this planet. He hears a cry for help. He darts out of the TARDIS and ends up stepping on this space stage landmine. And that's the rest of the episode. What? The rest of the episode? Yeah, I know. But in proper hands and given actual care, you could have had a pretty good episode out of it. The whole premise of it is there's this war on this planet going on, and it's an attack on capitalism and Christianity. where you have this Christian order of warrior priests. I guess they all have Catholic collars, and stuff. Although they're the Anglican Church is what they're supposed to be from, and this is like the Anglican Church in the future, merged with capitalist corporations, and they get tricked into fighting wars for the profiteering of the corporation, even though the enemy doesn't really exist, apparently. And there's a massive attack on the ideals of faith and all of that, which is extraordinarily bigoted. But hey, at the end of the show, the Doctor takes it back, And again, even that, given the care and the concentration necessary to deliver this with some amount of credibility, in the sense of, look, I thought I was about to die and everyone was going to die, and I lashed out. I'm sorry. Something along those lines. Yeah, maybe. But coming from this crowd, and using bigotry as a marketing scheme for your whole show, you're not going to get a pass on it. And the thing about capitalism, Moffat has done this before. He did it with Capaldi in that, it was the space station. I'm blanking on the title, but it's the one that, it had cool atmospherics to it with the spacesuits, with the dead people in the spacesuits walking around. And that in and of itself could have been pretty cool. But the whole thing was about, you pretty much had Capaldi practically break the fourth wall to give you a lecture about how bad capitalism is, while indulging it for the product of Doctor Who. But nevertheless, that's how it played out. It was really bad and shoehorned in and stupid, especially since no one seemed to notice that. It's like, why did they even need workers anyway when the spacesuits could do all the work on their own? Essentially, you just needed a robot labor force and you're good. It was very stupid, but they're so far up their own, to even notice glaring idiocy like that. So here we have this one. It's just thrown out there, capitalism again. Okay. And then to also take another dig at faithful people, and also just the idea of courtesy and condolences when in tragedy there's trying to offer comfort to others is all you can really do. So the term thoughts and prayers comes about. And then for whatever reason, this became a target for the left. And so Moffat throws it in there that somehow the saying thoughts and prayers should be synonymous with the dialect saying exterminate or something like that. It's now, a naughty phrase, if you will. Just the sheer idiocy of that is full display. So you had these robot ambulances, they called them, but they went around basically, if anyone was injured in the combat zone, it would go in there, decide that you're beyond repair or whatever and too expensive to repair. So it would kill you, but the way it would kill you was a sort of compression. Somewhat, I suppose, the same idea as the master's weapon, but here it basically turns the soldiers into fleshlights. Yes, that's what it is. It's this fleshy cylindrical tube with the device capping it. And it would project an AI holographic version of you that can communicate with your loved ones. And so this guy dies, and his daughter comes looking for him. And you have to conclude that the daughter has some sort of mental deficiency because she seems to think this hologram really is her father. And ultimately, the father, oddly enough, this is strange and somewhat you would see as unexpected here. The father is actually the hero of the story. It's not the doctor. The father AI is too much of a copy of the father, and you've seen this a million times, of course, overtakes the evil computer program of the ambulances and sets about fixing everything, and saving his little girl and all that stuff. And the doctor as well. The doctor is on the landmine, and they do explore things about they begin to realize that if they just get to a safe distance and the doctor is destroyed, Well, sucks to be him, huh? Well, the doctor reveals that, all part of this, what Russell T Davies introduced, it's not Doctor Who, it's Dr. God, which another gripe I have with his direction. But here he says, I'm, how did he put it? A space dimensional, time dimensional anomaly event or something. Because of all the lives he's lived and all the timelines he's been in and all this sort of stuff. If the thing tries to compress him, it will cause an eruption, the likes of which could devastate the entire planet. So it wasn't just the doctor couldn't just sacrifice himself. He had to stop this from happening. And eventually, of course, spoiler, they do and all of that. But just that in and of itself and performed much better and allowed to and eliminate the stupid crap that's already there because of previous episodes, so I guess it wouldn't have been possible. You might have had something. It's still, in some of these instances, every now and then, Shooty, you can kind of see there might have been something there for him, but he's too busy being Shooty instead of the doctor and that sort of thing. That he just doesn't really get a chance to do it. And then once again, there's no musical numbers, but he and Ruby have to sing, and for him to concentrate and not let his emotions get too out of hand because it'll set off the landmine. And so then Ruby, to help him out, starts snapping her fingers as they sing the song. So, damn it. And then there's another soldier guy who has a crush on a soldier girl who's going to, or I guess she'll be a different character, but the actress is from the Andor show who's already been announced will be another companion of the Doctor. I thought she'd be replacing Ruby, but I guess Ruby's staying on. I don't know, whatever. But so I don't know if they're doing another Clara thing. One would hope not. Why can't she just be someone the Doctor meets and joins the TARDIS team? Just do that. You already got this thing going on with Ruby, and there's more of that she makes it snow when she's in danger and all this stuff. And we're going to find out that Ruby's another pan-dimensional god or whatever, I suspect. So Soldier Girl's been teasing this guy. He's in love with her. And then it comes down to it that she likes him too. And then, bam, he's turned into a fleshlight as well. And, she'll get to keep that. Now, the elements there where this guilt hung over her could be a beginning narrative for a character. Don't hold your breath. I think that's the last we'll see of this character, and I'm guessing she'll play perhaps a descendant or an ancestor to, Soldier Girl, whatever. So finally, to add a little final kick here, since the AI of the dead father is contained within the fleshlight, and so the father does save everybody by taking over the ambulance's programs and all that. Well, the Doctor grabs the fleshlight and kisses it. Yeah. So in the end, this one, see, I was thinking, like in Jodie's run, there would be an episode that I said, well, you know what? This one is not that bad. It is bad, but it's not that bad. And it's the closest one to an actual Doctor Who episode. So I was wondering, would we get something like that here in one of the Shooting Gauntlet episodes? And this one almost did it, but it's got too much stupid in it for it to be that way. Plus, the bigoted hatred towards capitalism, Christianity, and all that. So, no, not this one, and I'm dubious that we'll get that. So it's the amazing thing that the Jodie era had better Doctor Who than this. Now that's really an achievement. It really is. But it's not done yet, so episode 4 is going to turn it around. Yeah. Oh, well.